Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. This is good. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Tai Gauranga Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Jaya. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada, Patit Pavan Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Patita Pavan. Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jaya. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Patit Pavan Srila Gurudeva. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Om Vishwapad Paramahansa Privraj Gacharya Stotrastu Shishimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaya Charanarvindam Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai. Shri 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 Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai. Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, Shri 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 Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai. ISKCON Leela with the mic. There's always some issue with the mic. Yeah. So while we're waiting, please put our hands together and repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Turubhescha Kripa Sandhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Yep, that's good. Okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending this program. Today is a very, very auspicious day in many regards. Today is the day when a very, very dear devotee in our movement, an amazing leader in our movement, left his body during COVID. We might all remember. Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Amazing devotee, just cannot express even in 1,000 lifetimes the glories of this personality and how much he was loved by Srila Prabhupada, who himself was so much loved by our deities. Srila Prabhupada actually put Radha and Krishna, all of the deities of ISKCON, made them a household name all over the world. I mean, we cannot imagine how the deities are trying to figure out what can we do to glorify Srila Prabhupada for all the glorification that he gave of the deities. I mean, it's just reciprocation. Krishna is a very competitive person. He doesn't like to lose. He will cheat if he has to win. And that's why we're all cheaters too. From cheaters come cheaters, right? So he's the greatest cheat on the planet, in the world. He can cheat anybody. The only thing about his cheating is that his cheating is very blissful. Anybody who gets cheated by him feels like they won the lottery of lotteries. They don't feel cheated, but actually they were cheated. Just like in our case, we were told that if you join the Hare Krishna movement, you'll become the happiest person in the world. You will have everything. And then we found that we lost our money, we lost our reputation, we lost our health, we even lost our sanity. But actually, we know that all of that was so that you have to die to be born. You have to lose yourself to find yourself. So this was Prabhupada's plan, and he made it very simple by saying, all you have to do is feast. Come, just enjoy the feast. He said a simple program, which is the most powerful program in the world, is to invite people to your home or wherever you want to invite them. Do nice kirtan, really nice kirtan. Let everybody sing and dance. And then give them a really nice feast, a knockout feast that they feel like, if for no other reason, we have to come back for this type of food. And if you know, at the beginning of our movement, the type of food that was made, the feasts that were made, was so rich. They were made in pure ghee, and there was more ghee than the other ingredients in the food. That's how much ghee there was. The halava, they called it halava good, was swimming in ghee. Today, if we see anything swimming in ghee, we'll sort of make a about face and walk right out of there, right? And say, not me, I'm not eating that food. It's too rich for me, like that. But at that time, the devotees would sing their hearts out and dance their hearts out. So whatever ghee went into their body was great fuel to help them sing and chant nicely like that, right? So at that time, so many amazing persons, Prabhupada actually said that those people joined the movement at that time were all great devotees of Krishna who were taking birth just to help him spread the movement. That's what he said. Every one of them. Because sometimes devotees from America or Canada or England would feel like, we don't come from that type of a culture that actually practices Krishna consciousness or understands Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, no, not true at all. You are all actually great devotees, and you came just so that this movement would start, just like the monkeys who came when Lord Ram needed an army to defeat Ravana. These monkeys were not monkeys. We may think they were monkeys because they definitely look like monkeys, but they were not monkeys. They were amazing, amazing devotees of Lord Ramachandra. Actually, every person at the time of Lord Chandra, including the spiders, you remember the story when Lord Ram asked a bridge to be built between Kanyakumari and Lanka. The spiders were carrying grains of sand and throwing them into the sea to help build that bridge. And Hanuman was bringing these huge boulders of mountains and putting them into the sea. And the spiders thought, let's get out of the way so we can bring more boulders and the bridge will be built faster. And when Lord Ram came, Lord Ram saw the spiders sitting in an assembly like we are here. And they had drums in their hands and cymbals in their hand, and they were chanting the names of Lord Ram and doing what is called the Ram Dhun, which is like, how sometimes you see Hare Krishna devotees get into a kirtan, And it's so powerful, that kirtan, that no matter how old you are, how sick you are, you feel like dancing, It's sort of you lose yourself and you're in ecstasy, dancing and singing, right? So they were like that. Lord Ram came and he saw them doing that, and he became very angry. He started fuming. His body went completely red. And so they're wondering what went wrong. So I said, Lord Ram, anything? You're not happy? He said, I'm not happy. He said, why? I said, I told you guys to pick up sand and throw it into the ocean. Why are you sitting here and chanting my holy names? And they said, well, we didn't want to disturb Hanuman because, he carries these huge mountains. And we get in the way all the time because we go in a big row, right? And to drop the sand, he has to wait until the train goes by. Then he can go and drop. And then he can't wait again for the train to get back again. Then he can go back, pick up the next, boulder. So the spiders were very smart, right? They thought, why don't we just do Lord Ram's name? Hanuman will become even more empowered, and he will be flying back and forth with lots of boulders and mountains, and soon the bridge will be built, and we will rescue Mother Sita, because we cannot live without Mother Sita. And that'll please Lord Ram so much. Lord Ram said, no. I gave those spiders the energy to pick up one grain of sand. I gave Hanuman the power to lift a mountain. I can give the spiders the power to lift mountains, and Hanuman the power to lift a grain of sand. He said, don't interfere in my management system. So we may think that the devotees who are sitting here, all of you sitting here, are ordinary persons, and we must feel like that. We're all ordinary. But actually, anybody who comes to Hare Krishna cannot chant Hare Krishna unless they've been a demigod in their previous life. It's not possible. This is stated in our scripture. You have to have been either Ganesh yourself, or Indra yourself, or one of those great demigods out there. Then you can come to this planet, and then you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is exemplified by these great devotees like Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj and the other wonderful spiritual masters who are in our movement, promoting Krishna consciousness so wonderfully. In a place where it's next to impossible to practice Krishna consciousness, they're promoting these programs. Today is also, we call Guru Purnima. It's the day when Vyasadeva actually appeared. And so, in a sense, it's the day when we celebrate all our spiritual masters, because they represent Srila Vyasadeva and give us the knowledge, by which knowledge we can understand the transcendental truth. And which transcendental truth is Krishna himself, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Param Satya, Parabrahman, Purushottam Parameshwara Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, as described by Lord Brahma, like that. Today also is the disappearance of Srila Sanatana Goswami. We all know that Sanatana Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis who actually decanted all of the Vedas into smaller writings so that we could understand Krishna consciousness in synopsis form, because we're so unfortunate that we don't like to distribute books and we don't like to read books. These are the 2 big diseases that we have to overcome. We have to learn how to distribute this knowledge, because this is the knowledge that will turn this world into an ocean, an oasis of Krishna consciousness. And we should read these books ourselves, understand the message in them, so that we can become truly happy, and more importantly, give happiness to others. Because if you do something for others, if you teach, you will be the best student. So our process is how to become great preachers, how to become great teachers of the science of Krishna consciousness, so others can understand Krishna consciousness perfectly, and we can actually practice Krishna consciousness perfectly. And so that I thought I'd make that the title of today's program. And the title I gave it, excuse my visionary problems, the title I gave it was Make Every Moment of Your Life Glorification of Krishna Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Make every moment of your life. Now this is the central message of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm speaking directly from the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to start with verse number 8 from chapter number 10. If any of you have that, you can chant along with me. We're not going to do call and response so much because I want to get through certain parts and allow you to ask questions and have a discussion that will allow us to go deeper into this topic, how every moment of our life can be a glorification of Krishna, glorification of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and their associates. So, chapter 10, text 8. Aham sarvasya prabhava mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanvita. Please repeat after me. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. This, by the way, is the first of 4 verses in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita that are the seed verses of all of the 700 verses of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So these are the 4 verses that if you plant, you grow the tree of the Bhagavad Gita. So it's called the Chatur Shloki Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is the first of those verses where Krishna is speaking and says that Krishna is the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from Krishna. The wise who perfectly know this engage in Krishna's devotional service and worship Krishna with all of their hearts. Then the next verse I'm going to talk about is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 27. Again, you can repeat after me. Yat karoshi yat ashnasi. Yat karoshi yat ashnasi. Yat juhoshi dadasi yat. Yat juhoshi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Tat kurushva mad arpanam. Tat kurushva mad arpanam. Please repeat after me. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to Krishna. He says to me, of course he means to Krishna. I'm going to read the purport here because this is the one that actually takes us deeper into the topic of how we can make every moment of our life a glorification of Krishna in Gauranga Mahaprabhu. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, thus, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for the maintenance of his body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him, for Krishna. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me, for Krishna. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra round on his beads, he is surely the greatest meditator and the greatest yogi, as substantiated by the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So how do we do this? So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 31, Krishna says, Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto nushuyanto muchyante te api karma bihi. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully, without envy, become free from the bondage of fruitive activities. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives the formula. How do we do this? So he says, an ordinary man, number one, with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, which means that we should have correct and accurate focus. What should be our correct and accurate focus? Firm faith in Lord Krishna and the eternal injunctions of Lord Krishna and Lord Gauranga. Even though unable to execute such orders, even if the person is unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of law of karma, and in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not discharge the injunctions of the Lord. But number two, because one is not resentful of this principle. The second thing is, don't resent the principle that we have to love Krishna and we will do things to love Krishna. We don't resent that. And number three, work sincerely. And number four, without consideration of defeat and happiness, he will surely be promoted. Number five, to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness, because that is Krishna's guarantee. Krishna gives that guarantee in chapter 9, text number 31. In that text, he says, Shiprang bhavati dharmatma shashvach shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. One quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti, declared boldly, my devotee never perishes. So here, what do we do so that this happens? So he gives the answer to that in chapter 9, text 14, where he says, Satatam kirtayantu mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namashyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukto pasate. He says, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion and make every moment of their life a glorification of Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That's what they're doing. So look at the 5 things he asked us to do. The first thing is that we all want to be happy in our lives. We all want to be successful in our lives in some shape, form, or another. So let's just look at some people who are doing their very best to become successful. One group of people came to mind is because I met someone who went through some great ordeal, really great ordeal to become successful. This person was from one of the third world countries of the world, not going to name the countries. And she felt, and she and her husband felt, in our country we will have no life. But if we live in America, we will have a great life. And we'll become successful. So she and her husband flew into Mexico and then decided to cross the border into the US. So at some point, they had to hike for very long distances. They had to walk for very long distances because otherwise people will check their ID, this, that, and the other, and they'd get stopped from actually reaching the border. So on the way, she was raped 3 times by different people. The wife was raped 3 times by different people in front of the husband. Now, any one of us who know anything about this know that there can be nothing more heinous than that can happen to you, right? But she's so determined that she wants to get into the US. She didn't complain, nothing. They came to the border. By some grace of Krishna or whoever, they crossed the border, they got into the US. Then she found a family. She and her husband found a family. When they heard the story, their heart melted. So they felt we should help them. And they helped them find a job, this, that, and the other. Long story short, she became a citizen of the United States of America and her husband, and are very happy today. Okay, why I'm telling you this story? Not so that you can use this example and say it's a good idea. It's not a good idea, okay? Not promoting the idea. I'm promoting the point that look how focused she was. Her point was, get into the US. The only thing that'll stop me is death. I'm not going to let anybody stop me under any circumstance. Can we have that type of determination to love Krishna? Can we have that type of determination that nothing is going to stop me? I'm going to... When Prabhupada was asked this question, how come you work so hard, Prabhupada? You're so old. You had 3 heart attacks. You didn't have any support. You had no money. People who joined you at the beginning were unlikely to give you any success in your movement. How come you became so successful? He said the reason was, he gave 2 reasons, but the principal reason he gave was, one of the principal reasons he gave was, that when I first met my spiritual master and I heard what Krishna consciousness means, I made a promise to myself. He said, I promised myself I will see Krishna face to face in this lifetime. I mean, that's determination. You say you're going to see Krishna face to face, I can guarantee you, you will never see Krishna face to face. Nobody who thinks he will see Krishna face to face will ever see Krishna face to face. Because that's a little pride, right? That's a little like, challenging Krishna, right? I'm going to be so great that I'm going to have you come and see me. Because only Krishna can reveal himself to you. There's nothing you can do in this planet that will make Krishna reveal you to him except whatever he wants. That will reveal him to you. So, can we actually make this a focus in our life that whatever happens, whether great things happen in our lives or bad things happen in our lives, nothing's going to stop us from loving Kalachandji. We're going to love Kalachandji with all of our heart and soul. We're going to love Krishna with all of our heart and soul. We're going to love Lord Gauranga with all of our heart and soul. And then look at what it says is the next thing you need. The next thing you need is, do not become resentful. See, when we do things that are difficult, sometimes we resent the hard work we have to do. Why do I have to wake up early in the morning? Why do I have to chant 16 rounds? Why can't I eat meat, fish, and eggs? Why do I have to follow those principles? Why do I have to meet with devotees who love insulting me? Prabhupada said the only hard thing in Krishna consciousness is interpersonal problems. The deities are going to be great. Prashadam is going to be great. The philosophy is fantastic. The kirtan is going to be great. The only problem you're going to have is other devotees sometimes not being very nice to you. That hurts. That's the only price you have to pay. But devotees, they don't think of that. They don't think, oh, so-and-so devotee said this about me. So-and-so spread this rumor about me. I mean, sometimes very terrible rumors are spoken of other devotees, right? You can imagine how those devotees feel when they hear about those rumors, right? But the devotees continue. They continue showing their love as if nothing happened. Why? Because there's so much love for Krishna. There's so much love for Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They think it's just a small price. I don't deserve Krishna. I don't deserve Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And somehow I've come into the association of the best of the best of the best. When you win the lottery, I don't think the person winning the lottery worries about a sore tooth, right? You think when somebody loses a lottery, they think, but I have a bad tooth, I have a sore tooth, so I'm not going to celebrate. They celebrate, right? They forget their rotten tooth until, it reminds them a number of times. Well, my point is that no matter whatever difficulty we have to go through in our lives is minuscule compared to the value of having Krishna. Who is Krishna? Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one person who can do anything and everything so easily that you can't even imagine how easy it is for him to do anything and everything that he wants. And he has only one purpose in his life, and that is to make you happy. That's all he has. That's all he thinks of all the time. How can I make my children happy? Just like how many of you are parents here? Hands up. How many of you parents with children? Don't you think about your children's happiness all the time? You're always thinking, right? What can I do to make my kid happy? And you may yourself go through so many difficulties, right? So many issues. But you don't think about it so much because you think, I'm doing this so my children will be happy. Well, we're not great parents, okay? We are, in many ways, very fallible personalities. Krishna is infallible. Can you imagine how much more he loves his children than we do, right? And how he's making every effort. Look, he came from all the way from the spiritual world to this planet just to say to us, I love you so much, please come and join my dance and let's dance together. Let's celebrate life. That's why he came. The absolute personality of Godhead, who has billions of Lakshmis running after him. All the billions of us are running after one Lakshmi, right? And billions of Lakshmis are running after Krishna. So we can imagine how great Krishna is, right? You can only imagine, because it's not even possible to imagine, but you can try to imagine. That person came to this world to tell us, I love you, please come and join the dance, come back with me to the spiritual world. I got a house there that's bigger than your planet for you. Did you know that? The houses there are as big as this planet. Just one person's house. I mean, that's amazing, right? And here, if we think we have a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house, we think I'm living in a castle. You know? And it's absolutely minuscule, nothing compared to what's happening, you know? Someone was telling me the other day, you know, isn't it outrageous that, you know, that this Gujarati family in India spent $600 million on a wedding? And I said, no, it's not outrageous. I think he's a child of God. He should spend $600 billion on his daughter's wedding or son's wedding. All of us should be spending $600 billion on our children's wedding. We're children of God. If you're child of a great person like that, you should act like a great person, right? Imagine Bill Gates' daughter gets married and he spends $25,000 on a wedding. What will people say? He's not a good father, he's a rascal. Why are we concerned that somebody does great in their life? If someone does great in their life, we should feel good. Yes, everybody should do great in their life. We're very happy with that. So we do not resent anything that it takes for us to love. Then it says the third thing is, we should be sincere. You can see this girl was sincere, right? She wanted to live in the US. And to live in the US, look what she went through to live in the US. She didn't think about that because that was a sincere desire. Nobody forced her, go to the US and live in the US. She decided, I want to live in the US. Anybody who wants to be successful, they will go through many difficulties. The average billionaire at one time, now it's become easier to become a billionaire, but one time it was very hard to become a billionaire. They said the average billionaire in life went through 4 things. They went through 4 wives, because the first wife thought he's a loser because he first loses. You know, he doesn't win. He loses money. So wife thinks guy's a loser, never going to be a billionaire. Find myself a better husband than this. Next wife comes in, the guy, she thinks this guy is too busy, you know what I mean? He's always about something else, never about me and my kids. Third wife comes in and thinks, the guy made money, his money is more important than me. The fourth guy, by the time he hits the fourth wife, he's a little mature himself. Men take a little while to mature, okay? All of you girls out there, when you're dealing with men, just give them some time. They need time, that's all. I know, you know, they don't immediately do the right thing. Give them time, and you got to use a bit of a rolling pin on their head once in a while. They'll learn. They'll do the right thing. But then when they do the right thing, they're like the best partner to have in your life, right? Suddenly the person became best partner. So the fourth wife stays with the husband. And then the other 3 wives think, maybe we shouldn't have let him go. You see? And how many times he goes bankrupt? He goes 3 times, 4 times bankrupt on the way. 3 or 4 times he has to move the house where he's going to stay. You see what I'm saying? He loses his health a number of times. Then he becomes a billionaire. He doesn't regret any of those things because he's so determined to become a billionaire. Can we be so determined to love Krishna? That no matter how hard it becomes, it's our desire. It's not because somebody was sitting in class and said, love Krishna. That's not why we love Krishna. We love Krishna because we want to love Krishna. It is our single most important desire that we will love Krishna. Because when you love Krishna, you will have everything. There's nothing that you'll be missing in your life. Then the fourth thing it says is that you don't give up under any circumstance. Again and again, the most successful people will tell you, they go through many failures, but they don't give up. They hang in there. And Prabhupada said, hang in there by the skin of your teeth. And if any of you dentists out here, by the way? Dentists? No? But the skin on your tooth is made of enamel. And they've found out, the scientists found out, that it is the toughest part of your whole body. The enamel on your tooth is the toughest part of your whole body. It's a very thin enamel that's holding the tooth together nicely and allowing you to chew and do all the other things you do with your tooth. So we hang in there no matter what happens, we're going to stay with Krishna. And finally, the best part of it all is, in all of the other cases, there's no guarantee. The girl had no guarantee that she'd end up in the US. She could have got murdered on the way too. Okay? There was a chance she wasn't going to make it. Many people want to become billionaires, never actually end up becoming billionaires. Many people who seek success in this world never actually end up becoming successful. But in the devotee's case, there's an exception. What is the exception? Krishna promises, my devotee will never fail. My devotee will succeed. How great is that, right? We're guaranteed to succeed. There's nothing that's going to stop us. It is true that Krishna also says, most of the time he gives that success just when you're heaving your last breath. Now guess why he gives it to you at that time? Anybody want to venture why? Krishna gives it to you just when you're about to heave your last breath. He gives you that success. Yes. So you stay humble, very good. Because what happens if you don't become humble? You fall down. So you got the gift, then you fell down. What's the use, right? Start all over again. Krishna doesn't want you to start over again, so he knows after he heaves his last breath and his death, he can't fall down now, right? And if I gave it to him and he gets birth on that planet where Krishna is performing his pastime and he gets born from the womb of a gopi and he gets trained by Tulsi's servant how to become a perfect devotee, this guy or girl has got guaranteed success. Actually, it is said in our scriptures and by our acharyas that when we go to that planet where Krishna is performing his pastime, just like you look at this painting, okay? Krishna is dancing with each gopi. So it's meant to be that each gopi, Krishna is thinking, Krishna is only with me. Prabhupada and the acharyas say, some of those gopis came from Dallas, some of those gopis came from Houston, some of those gopis came from the moon planet, some of those gopis came from Goloka Vrindavan, and Krishna doesn't know which one came from where. Krishna teaches each of them equally. How nice is that, right? You're in training, but you're treated like Krishna, like you're the best already. And he loves you like you're the best already. That's not possible in this world. This world is an imperfect world. Perfect things cannot happen in imperfect places. Perfect things happen in perfect places. But what we can have here is a perfect attitude. Prabhupada therefore says the secret of success is a humble attitude of service. Just like Prabhuji here said, humble. He didn't say that success is an attitude of service. He said it is a humble attitude of service. That means humility is the most important. If we keep our attitudes humble, that I always learn, I always know that I have defects in my life. There are things that I need to improve on. And I'm just going to stay humble, I'm going to zip my mouth and not sound like I know something, I'm doing something great, nothing. Stay humble. Do what you're supposed to do with all of your heart and soul and pray for the mercy of Guru and Krishna and stay humble like that. Krishna knows you have the humble attitude of success, of service, and then Krishna transfers you to the place where you can now join his greatest devotees, get fully trained up, and go back home, back to Godhead. And now, in this way, every moment of your life will become glorification of Krishna, will become kirtan. Kirtan comes from the word kirtiyate. Kirtiyate means to glorify. Kirtiyate iti kirtanam. So kirtan means to glorify Krishna. If every moment of your life is lived, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if every moment of your life is lived in glorification of Krishna, you are the personification of the glorification of Krishna, right? That's our life. We want to make every moment of our life glorification of Krishna. Whatever we do in glorification of Krishna. We are humble because we're glorifying Krishna. We're showing Krishna, actually I know nothing, Krishna. You know everything. Please be merciful unto me. Please give me good intelligence. Please let me do all the right things. Then I can please you, and more importantly, please your devotees. Because Krishna becomes really happy when you serve the devotees. He doesn't need so much service. He's got billions of gopis serving. These gopis are so smart. Whole planet Earth intelligence put together cannot balance one gopi's intelligence. That's how smart these gopis are. And how do they act? They act like village girls, as if they have no knowledge. They act like village girls. But they have complete love for Krishna. There's so much love for Krishna that Krishna is defeated by their love. He becomes their menial servant. He wants to become a blade of grass that a gopi will walk on. Can you imagine? Absolute personality of Godhead becoming a blade of grass so that his gopi, his devotee, will walk on. That tells you how much love he holds his devotees in. So we should be all heart, all love. We should look like this. Rounded personalities that are wider than taller. So eat a lot of prasadam. It's going to help you. And grow out. There's nothing wrong in being fat. Fat is good. Skinny is not good. This world, they teach you the other way around. Skinny is good, fat no good. That's because the people of this world are manda sumanda mateo. They've got no intelligence. They're unfortunate. They're trying to exploit people. They exploit these people who are slim and beautiful and this, that, and the other. That's why they want them to be slim. Not because it's good. I remember one time Prabhupada was traveling with one of his devotees in a taxi. Some of you may have heard of the name of Brahmananda. Right? Brahmananda is a pretty big guy. So he's nudging Brahmananda with his elbow, right? And Brahmananda said, "Yes, Maharaj, Prabhupada." He said, the taxi driver was a big guy. Real fat guy, I mean, the seat was barely enough to sit him on, And you could feel like the back seat is going to break any time. This back's going to break, what I mean? It's barely holding him, Especially when the car jumps a little, right? You worry the seat might break and you might get into an accident. So he says to him, ask him where he buys his groceries. Why do you think he asks him? He's saying, this guy obviously buys his groceries the right place. Look how big he is, you know what I mean? Right? And here we in America, we're thinking, oh, what can I do to slim down? Let me spend $1 billion slimming down. There's no need to slim down. Be healthy. You can be healthy, fat or skinny, tall or short, whatever you are, black or white, yellow, green, blue or multicolored. Makes no difference. Be healthy. You see what I'm saying? But Prabhupada liked the idea of people eating prasadam and becoming roly-poly. Roly-poly means you're wider than you are taller. So you can roll. You roll in and you roll out. Then you go to a kirtan and you become slim. Then you go back to the prasadam and you become roly-poly. Then you roll back into the kirtan and do more kirtan, become slim. Then you walk to the prasadam place and you become roly-poly and you roll back into the kirtan. This is the best program in the world. This is called make every moment of your life glorification of Krishna. It may sound like a joke, you might sound funny, but it's actually fact. It's actually fact. Prabhupada would love this if this happened. You saw all of us here walk into the prasadam room and roll back inside here and do so much kirtan they became slim again, right? I mean, you can imagine a kirtan. If a roly-poly becomes a slim in a kirtan, I mean, that must be some kirtan, right? And people must be jumping all the way to the sky. I mean, that's the skyline, by the way. I mean, that's a kirtan, right? Heck, what type of a kirtan? That'd be a transcendental kirtan. That's transcendental glorification of Krishna. So we are all very fortunate that we came to find out about this. Because I can tell you for myself for sure, and I think a lot of you may agree with me, had we not come to Krishna consciousness, our future was very dark. Very dark. And Prabhupada saved us. Our spiritual master saved us The devotees saved us. The deities saved us. And today we have the opportunity to glorify Krishna, more importantly, to glorify devotees. Because when you glorify the devotees, Krishna becomes even happier. So let's all determine today is Guru Vyasa Purnima, the day on which amazing devotees did amazing things in their lives. Let's determine today that we will make every moment of our life glorification of Krishna, glorification of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Now it's true, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not like now I determine tomorrow I'm going to be 100% into Krishna consciousness. It'll take a little time, but let's make some effort. And in making this effort, my one request to all of you, which is the same request that Kalachandji has, is please encourage everybody. Don't discourage anybody. Yeah, there are faults in everybody. Who doesn't have faults? In this room, who of you don't have any faults? Put your hand up. No faults. You're perfect. You see what I'm saying? We all have faults, right? I have it too. I'm just a liar. That's why I put my hand up. You know, we are called liars in India. Lawyers. I'm a lawyer. Lawyers in India are called liars. I went to my liar, and my liar told me to do this. Right? Those of us come from India. I come from Fiji, by the way, in South Pacific. Anyway, I'm a lawyer, so I can say liar. But the point is that let's make some determination in our hearts that we will make every effort to encourage other devotees. Because when they're encouraged, they'll make progress. They'll feel good. I can also make some progress. This is what parents do for their children. They encourage their children. The children make amazing progress. Sometimes the parents look at their children and think, this child is more advanced than I am. I have grandchildren that I look at and think, this grandkid is more advanced than I am. I was supposed to be temple president for so long, and this, then GBC, this, that, and the other. And I see my grandkid and I think, wow, this grandkid is great, man. So much love for Krishna. Just the other day I posted, do you remember that girl who was playing on the mridanga in India? And I posted it on Hare Krishna, Northeast Texas. She's never been to America. And she was chanting the glories of Kalachandji. She was chanting, Jai Kalachandji, Jai Kalachandji, Jai Radha Kalachandji, Jai Kalachandji Dham. I'm thinking, she's never been to Dallas. I found out she's never been to Dallas. Never met, Kalachandji. I don't know if she met it. She's 2 years old, playing on the mridanga, and chanting her heart out. You should see how she's chanting. She's chanting her heart out to Kalachandji. I mean, I'm 72 years old and I can't chant my heart out for Kalachandji. I'm having problems chanting my heart out for Kalachandji. And at 2 years of age, she's doing it. When loving parents give people Krishna, they will become amazing devotees. One time, Ritta Dwaja Maharaj was giving a lecture like this, and he said, last night I had a dream, he said. In my dream, I was in my mother's womb, and I was praying to Krishna, oh Krishna, please let my mother make me Krishna conscious in this lifetime. Please have my mother be a person who will make me Krishna conscious in this lifetime. I mean, he's a great devotee, great advanced devotee, and this is how he's praying in the womb of the mother. So we're all very fortunate to come to know about Krishna. Let's make it happen. Let's make the temple, the community, all be very, very happy in Krishna consciousness. We have amazing temple president, Rupa, Nising Rupa Prabhu, and then wonderful temple council members like Dwarka Prabhu is sitting here, and others who are actually supporting the program. Mother Padma is standing in the front like a rock, always there looking after people coming into the program, right? So many wonderful devotees are leaders, so many wonderful kirtaners here and other leaders who give wonderful classes and help people be Krishna conscious. We got the best community. We couldn't ask for a better community than this, right? Everything's great. And all of you come from outside, be happy, join us and preach wherever you are. Let's start communities all over Dallas. Wouldn't it be nice if all the 12 million people in Dallas were chanting and dancing? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That would be so nice, right? It'd be pure ecstasy. Let's do that before the the stock exchange comes to Dallas. Because once the stock exchange comes to Dallas, it's going to be a little harder to do that. So we got a really small window, 1 or 2 years. Let's make Dallas Krishna conscious. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. I'll ask if any of you... Actually, we went past time. That's my problem all the time. Any of you have any questions, any concerns, any disagreements, any things you'd like to share? Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your nice class.
You have to speak a little louder, okay? So
Yes,
I can hear.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your nice class. I had the question that you said sometimes people win the lottery, but they're not worried about the toothache. They shouldn't be worried about the toothache because they won the lottery. But sometimes I fear, or maybe I misunderstand, that we don't realize that we've won the lottery. So how can we kind of mitigate or understand?
So
that
we get
have?
reminded, people remind us that we have won the lottery, you see what I'm saying? And so when you get reminded enough number of times, then our mind, which is conditioned to think, no, this is not the lottery. The lottery is $1 billion in cash sitting on 26 Second Avenue or somewhere I've got to pick it up from. That we get reminded by devotees around us. And we see the happiness in those devotees' lives, in their hearts and their faces like that. And then we understand that what scripture is saying is quite correct. You see what I'm saying? And then we start experiencing some of that happiness ourselves. And then that happiness leads to greater happiness and greater happiness until one day, Prabhupada says it takes 30 to 40 years to understand this. But after the 30 to 40 years, you can become convinced that yes, this is the lottery of lotteries that we've won like that. So it takes a little time. We just got to give it a little time. Like I said, men are a little slow. Women tend to carry it a little faster, but men take a little more time.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay? Anybody else? Anything? Otherwise, yes, Maraji, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, you can, it's fine. You just have to speak a little more loudly, that's all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Put the mic right next to you. Right next to your mouth. Yeah, right next to your mouth. It's working. Yeah.
When you mentioned any person with the focus, with the determination,
Focus,
they get
yes.
to a next stage.
Yes.
Some may succeed, some may not succeed.
That's true.
But it's just their focus that's important.
That's helping them, yes.
It's helping them to get to the next stages. At the same time, there are several difficulties people might go through. The example that you have given.
Right.
It's natural sometimes for people to just look back despite their success or whatever the stage they reach to. It's natural to sometimes reflect in the past, like both the successes and the difficulties.
Yes.
And can get a little depressed, right?
Yes.
So with the Krishna consciousness, how would you suggest, or what the chanting is of course the main thing.
Yes.
How would you suggest the devotees to overcome any of repenting over the past,
right,
and then just remain in present, or just more positive outlooks?
Right. Number of things. The first thing Prabhupada said was stay in the association of people who are very Krishna conscious, because they'll always lift you up, right? So that's one thing. Stay in the association of nice devotees, because they will always be enthused, enlivened, and so naturally you'll become enthused and enlivened as well. But the next thing is to understand that your misery is your pot of gold. That is your vault of treasures. Imagine, you know how in the stories they say, Kulja Sim Sim, and then this whole place opens up and it's full of riches. You know, it's a mountain of jewelry and gems and everything else, right? Okay? Imagine that your pain was that. Now, how would pain be like that? How pain works like that is this, that when you go through pain yourself, right, and you are able to overcome that pain, many other people are going to go through the same pain. You can help them overcome, right? How much value is it for them? Can you imagine this girl, I told her, you could go around America and give a lecture. You can give talks on how to stay encouraged, right? She will be very inspirational, won't she? Heck of an inspirational person, right? People who are having difficulties, women who are going through difficulties in their lives, will feel like, wow, I should be like that. And then they become encouraged and they become enlivened, right? So your pain became treasure. You turned your pain into treasure. Or like lemon into lemonade, right? You get the idea? So both ways. And then Radharani gives another example that your pain is the contrast to your happiness. If you have contrast, the happiness shines better, right? Like when you go to the jewelry store and you see the jewelry, where does the jeweler put the jewelry? On a mannequin. And the mannequin is contrasting, right? Very dark mannequin, very bright jewelry. So you look at the bright jewelry and think, wow, this jewelry is so bright, I should buy this. But your body is not going to reflect the jewelry like that mannequin, right? But that reflection is what made you feel like the jewelry was so great. So when you go through pain and then you come to Krishna consciousness, you will feel like, wow, Krishna consciousness is really great. Because it contrasts. So Radharani says, pain is the most valuable thing in creation. And she is the Adi Lakshmi. If the Adi Lakshmi says pain is the most valuable, then dollars don't compare, right? You see what I'm saying? So knowledge is very powerful. We should learn these things from knowledge, that association of devotees, understanding your pain is something that you can help others overcome more easily. And number 3, that it contrasts your happiness. And now you understand happiness. Without night, there's no day, right? Without pain, there's no pleasure. You have to contrast. So the contrast is necessary as well. So Krishna is very kind. He gives us the contrast. So now we can see more clearly. Does that make sense? Thank you very much. Okay, we've gone well beyond our time. Sorry, Nrsimharupa Prabhu. All glories to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Vanchakapa Tirubhischa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Brindaki Jai.